lot of you guys, a lot of agents that we have from Vision. And like Ed said, I'm a loan officer that went to a real estate convention, ideas to figure out what we could do more to help you guys, what we can do to work with you guys. Because if we're not working together, then what's the point? If we go one way and you go the other, it really doesn't make sense. We can't help your buyers if we don't know what you're doing. And I know you guys sell houses, know that, and list houses. But that's all I exactly knew. I didn't understand what you guys all went through. So it was kind of eye-opening thing to see, the garbage that sometimes you guys had to deal with, the headaches. You guys do a lot more. Someone was talking with me recently and said, oh, they just put a sign up on the yard. And I told them, no, agent doesn't do that anymore. They actually work their butts off to sell your house now. The person told me, oh, well, no, they really don't. Yes, they do. You can't stick that in a sign in the front yard anymore. So a lot of this is probably a lot, like everybody said, that we already knew, but we didn't know how to do it. You don't know how to do these things unless you've done it before. And like Ed said, you can do a farm system, but they said it. If you don't do it for 90 days, it's not going to work. You do it for 30 days and you see nothing, most people quit. If I don't see any results within 30, 60 days, I kind of get tired of doing it because I'm putting out money for what? I'm not seeing it right away. So that was one thing that I learned, that you got to be consistent. The email blasting, staying in front of your customers, because if they said that within a year after they do a deal with you, they forget you unless you stay in front of them. How do you do that? Like Mike said and everybody said, you can't make, if you have 300 clients, say, that you did houses for or something, you can't make 300 calls every month or every week to stay in front of them. Technology is something that they talked about at the end on the second day a lot, that the 800 number is a great tool, but there's a lot of free stuff out there. Facebook, I know a lot of people use it, but don't just use it to talk about what you did over the weekend. You can use it to talk about business. I post rates out there and people call me and send me messages and say, hey, what could you do for me? Because I just simply took 2 seconds and typed something on Facebook and clicked the button. It's really that simple. Another thing is, I know Larry talked about, is the niche marketing. You can't market, I learned, you can't want to do something for every single person out there. Otherwise, you're not going to get anybody. You're going to try to market to every single person, but not everybody needs your services. Ed does a lot of investments, investors. That's kind of maybe his niche. You find that niche, you find something that you specialize in, that you can, give people that feeling like, if I go to him, he'll know what he's talking about. They had, the one guy did acre plus. That was his niche. He did 1 acre or more land. And he had a website, and he had marketing materials that were just for that went to one specific thing. And he got a lot of business from it. So, niches are something that you need to specialize in something instead of trying to relate to every single person that wants to buy or sell a house. You may be better at, $1 million homes than $100,000 homes. That's one thing that I learned. And also, too, the FSBOs, that's just easy right there, because you find a possible seller and buyer in one transaction. And that's something that you do the 800 number that they're going to talk about. It doesn't cost you anything. What does it cost you? Nothing, except maybe a phone call or two. Something that we will, if any of you guys decide to do that, the FSBOs, let us know, because we'll help you with it and put an ad for their FSBO on Craigslist. That was something that I came up with, that we came up with, to help you guys help them, so we all work together. So you have something, not only an 800 number sign, but we'll put it on the internet, on our website, this and that. So that's pretty much what I got out of it. Just, big thing is follow up and follow through is what they said. And also, too, you need to strike. I was reading this yesterday while sitting in the doctor's, and I did tell my wife to hold off giving birth so I can make it to this conference. I did, and we're actually going to be induced tonight, and I told her I had to come here tonight. But the emotional, they talk, strike an emotional nerve with somebody. People buy, when you bought a home, you did it not just on numbers, maybe unless you were an engineer or something like that. A lot of people do things on emotion. This business, whether it's mortgages or real estate, is emotions. You know, you paint that pretty picture to that person in their house, and then I say, hey, I gave you 4.5 rate. Life is great. They are now ready to buy on that pure emotion. So if you strike that nerve with them, they're gonna get excited. That was one thing that they didn't talk a lot about, but I read it in the book as I was reading. You know, emotional nerve is something that they will buy a house with you on, purely that sometimes. So
we all buy with emotion and justify with logic.
yep.
Gee, I like that car, can I afford it? That's all we do. That's all we do. Let's give him a hand. He has been on Pins and Needles for